Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim Loy here with my man Jeff Hobbs, and we've got Dreon Martin joining us today. A little fighter focus as we get ready for Aries 3. It's going down next week from the world famous Cotton Eye Joe in Knoxville, Tennessee. Jeff, we got Dreon here. Dreon taking on a guy from over in your neck of the woods, Pat Crumpton. I'm excited to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Me too. Well, we lost Dreon.
Yeah, oh man, did. Just like that. Are we starting over then? Probably.
Hold on. No, we're back.
Hey, just like
there.
That. There
he's back. All right. Good deal. All right, we don't have to start over.
It's kind of raining out here, and our Wi-Fi is down in the gym right now.
Okay. Yeah, there's some pretty bad weather coming through all parts of Tennessee here. I've noticed, man. But yeah, Tim, I'm excited to talk to Dreon, man. It's, we talk to a lot of guys week in and week out, but, we talk to a lot of what I call the new school guys, man. And Dreon's old school. Dreon's an old school guy, man. I mean, like, Dreon, he started, amateur career back in, like, 2010, 2011. So, he's been doing this a long time, his amateur career. Man, who are some of the guys that he fought? Sam Baker, didn't he? It's like one of his last amateur fights. He's fought a who's who in kind of that East Tennessee tri-state area, man. So I always enjoy talking to the old heads.
Yeah. Dreon, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very well.
Good,
I'm excited to fight.
Yeah, we're only a week away, making your way back down here to Tennessee. Now fighting with Aries here, our new game in town here. And if I'm not mistaken, I might have saw you post that you are an Aries.
Yep, sure is.
I was meant to be.
That works out nice. So, Dreon, you got Pat Crumpton coming up here next week. Let's talk a little bit about that fight, and then let's also talk a little bit about what you've been had going on with your boxing career. I've been keeping up with you there, and I know you're coming off a big win. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Pat Crumpton up next week. He's one of these guys that he's a well-rounded fellow, but typically gets that reputation for being a bit of a grinder. Is this one of these fights where you're looking to keep it standing? I know most of the time, you excel on your feet, you got good hands. You looked really good in the stand-up your last time out against Garrett Sharp, I thought. And you actually made the decision to take him down, which ended up being a mistake. But honestly, I thought you were looking really good in that fight all the way up until that point. Just a slight little hiccup.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I didn't listen to what my coach told me to do. He told me not to take him down, but I did anyway. But lesson learned. But I've been focusing mostly on my takedown defense, of course, but I'm pretty much gonna let my hands fly for this fight.
Nice. Well, we've all seen you've got good hands, man. You've started dabbling in pro boxing now, and if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be kind of your new ambition here, coming off a win over Jeremy Mitchell, which is a great win, man. Jeremy Mitchell, one of the top prospects in the area, undefeated MMA fighter. He's a guy that's been in there, that has really gotten a lot of hype behind him. So, going in there and knocking a guy off like Jeremy Mitchell is a good win. Talk about that fight a little bit.
Well, that was that fight. That was a short notice fight. I really didn't want to take that fight, because I was supposed to be fighting for y'all, but I took that fight on like a 2-week, 3-week notice, and I just trained my butt off of that fight. Got dropped in the first round because I started brawling, and then once I got dropped, it just clicked in, go back to my technique, and Finn came out with the unanimous decision in his backyard, basically. So,
tell you what, man, getting dropped in the first round, that's 10-8. To come back and win a decision in a 4-round fight, getting dropped is not an easy task.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was more ready for it. I'm in the striking department. I believe in pressure. And if you're being put in pressure against bigger guys my size, I'm the one that's going to be pressure majority of the time anyway. Just like I fought his trainer, Dirk Lambert. It was a back and forth, but that was also another short notice fight. But I showed good stamina in that fight, even though I came off the couch. I just know how to conserve my energy.
Hey man, going the distance with Derek Lambert's a really solid accomplishment as well. Lambert's a pretty decorated boxer. You know, he's got
He's a
quite a bit
volume
more
fight. He's a
experience.
volume fighter. Yes,
Right,
he
right.
threw
He's
a
got a lot of
volume at
boxing experience, so going the rounds with a guy like that is very good. Jeff, what you got for my guy? You know, he's we're gonna be seeing him here just about a week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Dreon, kind of, you know, you look over your record, man. I think one thing that people don't realize that makes a guy like you dangerous is there's nothing you haven't seen in this game.
No,
you know,
there's nothing I haven't seen. It's just I need to stick to my game plan.
Sure. But
instead
as far
of
as
switching up late, like soon as I get in, I start filling out the guy. If I don't feel like he's stronger than me, I'll like, okay, I'm out muscle him. Then next thing, you know, go to the ground, and use his technique. Technique is everything, you know. Like,
right. But I mean, it's got to be hard for a guy like you. I'm not saying that you don't get those fight jitters or those fight nerves, but there's got to be a sense of just such calmness when you go into a fight now at this point in your career. Like I said, going back to 2010, 2011, there's nothing you haven't seen in the sport. You've seen grapplers, you've seen boxers, you've seen wrestlers, you've seen technicians, you've seen wild men, you've seen it all. So is there just something so calming about this point in your career where it's like, it's not even about who I'm fighting anymore. It's about me just doing what I know I need to do, because there's nothing about the man that's stepping in across from me that makes me nervous that I haven't seen before. Is there something at this point in your career just kind of maybe even eerily calming about the process nowadays?
Just put in the work in the gym for real. Just knowing that I put everything, never left anything, have no doubts left in the gym, then going to that fight, I shouldn't have no doubts about it. Well, next man, either way it goes, it's a hurt business. At the end of the day, it's a hurt business. So
what other business have you been in? We know what sports you've done since 2011, but let's go back to the young Dreon before MMA came around, before combat sports came around. What were some of the games that you played as a kid growing up? Were you a football guy, a basketball guy? What were the some of the
I was a wrestler. Like,
he was a wrestler through and through.
I had an uncle wrestle. I had my older brother of mine, he wrestled. But I pretty much was the better one out of my family. I wrestled from 6th grade all the way through high school. I had a few scholarships, but I turned down to go because I knew I was going to flunk out of school, because I was going to party and do all the other extra stuff. One day, I graduated, walking around my hometown, seen a boxing ring in the gym. I walked in, it was actually in a gym. So I started, had 3 weeks of training, took my first fight, won 30 seconds, won on guillotine.
All right. Well, let's go off the rails a little bit. So you grew up in a wrestling a family, and I don't know if you're like Tim or myself or people like that, but did you grow up a pro wrestling fan? Did you watch pro wrestling? Who was your shit? Tell me, who was your shit growing up, man?
Man, I had a few on, like The Rock. I go back
Classic.
to when Dustin Rhodes, Dusty's son, when he was in WCW, I liked him there. I go way back in the WCW era.
How far back do you go, man? Because we go way back.
Yeah, because we're about that Midnight Express.
Yeah, we're about that old school.
I'm not that far back, but I'm back when him and I can't think of his name, when they had that it was a crazy match on the tractor trailer. Like that.
Wow, yeah.
All the gimmick matches, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Tim.
I was a WCW guy before the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were too. We were big time WCW, NWA back when that was the underground shit. You know, like everybody else.
The classics.
Yeah, everybody else liked WWF, and I know Tim's the same way. We were the guys that we were watching, you know, old school WCW Saturday night. You know. So all right. So Dustin Rhodes back when he was the Natural. In WCW. All right, that's still pretty old school. Nobody really knows him other than Gold Dust. So
right,
if you know WCW Dustin Rhodes, then we can hang.
Still wearing cowboy boots.
Yeah, you can.
Well, my only reason why I liked it because that's my granny. My granny, her favorite was Dusty. Dusty was her favorite. So I picked up on Dustin.
everybody's granny loved Dusty Rhodes back in the day. The working class man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's you've got if I'm not mistaken, you've already got your next boxing match set too. After this MMA fight, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Well, I really just set it up. It just came. It's from the same promotion, and
Yeah.
he hit me up. He hit me up with, well, pretty much I believe him because he been straightforward with me that this fight wasn't really him. They wanted to come fight me. Like, okay.
Oh wow.
So, guys 13-15-1, but we in like 5, I think, something like that. He really didn't show anything interesting, but I'm gonna take the fight and get that W. I really don't dwell on what happened in the last fight, but he did get TKO by a guy that was 1-2. So anything can happen in the fight, though, you know.
Of course, of course. Now, kind of switching gears into it looks like you're going to be a little heavier into boxing moving forward. You were a pretty decorated amateur as in MMA. Obviously, your record hasn't panned out like I'm sure you would want to. But if you were to go back and you were to kind of look at things when you were making your pro debut, a lot of that has to do with just like you took really tough fights. You weren't groomed so much. A lot of these guys get groomed up. As they go pro, they get the right matchups early in their career. You didn't really have that going for you. Now that you've kind of switched over to boxing, does it kind of let you reset? Now your record is, you're 1-1 in boxing, and with a chance to kind of go above 500. Now that's got to be an appealing thing. Now you can kind of make your own way again, kind of almost starting fresh, and now you make a lot of money out there boxing.
They make a lot of money too, but I don't know. I think like just at the aspect of MMA or what we have to learn in MMA, I can switch and go to boxing and just let everything out.
Sure.
I don't have to hold back. Don't have to worry about the takedowns. I don't have to worry about taking somebody down. Like I try to play the game of MMA, even though I'm a stronger striker. I try to play the game of being real rounded stuff. It really don't pan out for me, but it is what it is. I still love it. I still love the game of MMA, but it's a chess match.
Sure.
It's a harder chess match. It's a very harder chess match.
So what's the motivation like going into this one next week with Pat Crumpton, man? Obviously on paper, it looks like you're the underdog, but I know that this is a good match because I've seen you both fight. I know what you're capable of doing out there when you make the right moves, when you fight, with the right game plan out there. How motivated are you to go out here and get this win?
Well, I'm very motivated because this is my very last one, honestly.
I saw you say that. Yeah. This is your last MMA fight. It'd be nice to ride out on a win.
Yeah, and it don't really matter to me. I just want to put on a good performance. Like I just want everybody to remember that fight.
Of course. Hey, I love that
attitude. Hopefully he slug it with me. I know he's gonna take me down because it's part of MMA. But if he slug with me, it's gonna be something I ain't gonna forget.
Well, we talked to Pat a couple of weeks ago ourselves, and he recognized that you have some dangerous aspects on standing with your hands and stuff. And he didn't straight up say he wasn't going to take you down, but I got the impression that he would like to try to engage in some striking and see how that goes. And I think that if we get that, we're going to get a real nice show for the crowd at the Joe. That's for sure. So. If this is the last MMA fight, we talked about that, and I like working with you, of course. I don't fuck around with no boxing, so maybe we get you in there for some kickboxing or Muay Thai down the road.
I'll take some kickboxing bouts too.
All right, tell you what, we always
I love throwing kicks. I love it.
We always still take care of our own too, and we're really close with the TriStar Boxing guys.
Yeah, we actually have good contacts with
out
boxing
of Nashville here, and I know they come to East Tennessee a lot. They do a lot of stuff in Nashville. They do some stuff now up in Kentucky, right across the line at a casino. So. We'll be happy to pass those contacts along for you as well.
I would love that. I just love to perform and give everybody what they would deserve.
We can surely do that for you too.
Very nice. Well, Dreon, I'm excited for it next week, man. Get to see you again, get to see you in action. I want to let you give some shout outs where they're due. If there's any friends, family members, training partners, anything like that you want to give some love to, I'll let you do it.
Well, I just want to give everybody a shout out. They know who the ones that helped me out in paying and everything. I want to also give an actual shout out to my coach who I actually originally started with. We're going to finish this last little camp out, and who I started with, I'm going to finish it with him. So we're doing very well with it.
Outstanding, man. Hey, once again, this has been Dreon Martin. You can catch him next week, Aries 3, from the world famous Cotton Eye Joe, Knoxville, Tennessee. It's next Friday, January the 7th. You can catch the pay-per-view on Spectation Sports. And then you want to come live in person, tickets are available at fightertix.com. Dreon, we can't wait. Looking forward to it, my man. Have a nice, safe weight cut next week, and we will see you at weigh-ins next Thursday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. See y'all guys.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.